going on, guys? It's Shaun of the Dead here. I wanted to talk to you about something today. Um, I was read through some comments that people were commenting on my videos, and I watched a couple of videos from some people, and I was looking at some stuff, and I was like, you know what? I saw this thing pop up as I was looking, and it was talking about a guy who's talking about being a gray man. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, whatever. And I saw some other videos about urban survival, and one of my buddies was talking about urban survival. So stay tuned for another of my upcoming videos, which is going to be an urban survival, urban bug out, an urban zombie attack situation, and how to deal with things in a specific manner on that. And so we'll get to that in that other video. So stay tuned. Now, what I want to talk about right now is something very, very specific, is the gray man aspect. I picked up a Ruger Mini 14. I'm a huge fan of Ruger. The Mini 14 is a horrible failure, unfortunately. You've taken a very highly accurate round in the 223/556 NATO, and you turned it into one of the most inaccurate shooting platforms on the planet. I was very, very surprisingly disappointed. Functions fine. I mean, it goes bang. People talk about how inaccurate an AK is. My AKs, either one of them, are more accurate than that Ruger Mini 14. And I had a compensator on the front on purpose. And no, it was still a very inaccurate firearm. So I picked it up because I could put a 5-round mag in it. It was a sleek, smooth, sports stock. I had a raised scope so I could look through the open sights and use those so I could shoot at close ranges, or I could look up and look through my scope and shoot at long ranges. And so I could just literally wiggle back and forth, and I could fire off whatever I needed to fire off at, drop that mag, slap in a 30-round mag, and bam, I've got a 30-round firepower just like you would with an AR. And I thought, great. This is spectacular. This is a hidden jewel. I can drop that 5-round mag that makes people think, oh, he's got a hunting rifle over his shoulder. And I go, ch-ch, boom, 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 boom. And they're like, oh, crap. That's sustainable fire. Yes, it is. And I was pretty excited. I was like, I can look less conspicuous. People might not be as inclined to shoot somebody that's carrying a hunting rifle over an AR because they would rather have the assault rifle versus the hunting rifle. And this ends up being more of a battle rifle, and they're like, oh, that's more than I bargained for. Well, let me see what I can do now. I'm in trouble. So the flaw with the inaccuracy of the gun was horrible. I used the same exact ammo as I used in my Colt Sportster H-bar. I could drill thumbnail-sized targets at 100 yards, and I could hold a 3-inch grouping all day at 100 yards with the H-bar. Same ammo, same exact ammo. And I ran all kinds of different stuff through the Mini 14, from steel casing to brass casing, whatever. But I was even using the same exact ammo I use in my AR for that pinpoint accuracy, and I'm getting groups like this at 50 yards, getting groups like this at 100 yards. It just kind of floating all over the place. And I was like, what is wrong with this picture? I mean, this is like, a 3 or 4 MOA gun. This is horrible. And I was expecting, like a 1 or 2 MOA gun. And so I heard they're a little less accurate. And I was like, okay, no, they're horribly inaccurate. I mean, they're combat accurate, so I mean, you can still, effectively be in combat. But if I was going to shoot at an animal at a couple 100 yards, I might miss my headshot. I'm not too keen on missing my deer. With my AR, I've snapped a deer's neck. I shot it right dead in the throat, and it just fell straight over. It didn't buck, jump, wiggle, nothing. It just dropped, severed its spine. I've had experience with, a great caliber for accuracy and then I had in a completely different platform. And I changed platforms with the same ammunition and had horrible accuracy. And the quote-unquote horrible accurate by what they say is that the 7.62 by 39 is an inaccurate round. I was getting just as good, if not better, MOA with that than I was with the Mini 14. So tells me that the AK is not as bad as people say. I think the AK is fine. I actually really like my AK. So that was part of the reason is the inaccuracy of the firearm pissed me off. Second reason, do I look like a gray man to you? I wear, a black or a blue T-shirt, generally black. Generally, sometimes I'll have like an OD shirt that has zombie stuff on it, or a black shirt that has zombie stuff. I'll wear something that has like a zombie something on it. And I usually wear OD or black cargos. All the way down to my 511 first responder knife, I scream paramilitary. Even my hats come with earplugs. I have earplugs in the back of my hat on both sides. So that way I can keep, if I'm going out, if I go hunting, if I'm in a situation where, oh hey, we want to go to the range, oh okay, well, cool, let's go. I got my earplug, I'm good. If I happen to be in a situation where someone's coming around and I'm defending myself, maybe for the first couple of shots, but once cover's taken, I'm going to protect my ears. My ears are important to me, so I like to keep that around. So I do not look like a gray man with paracord, survival bracelets, leather bracelet I made. I don't look inconspicuous at all. I stand out in the crowd. Long red haired with a long red beard. I mean, I'm always that guy. Unless I'm in an Irish fest, like an Irish Ren fest. Okay, I might be a little harder to spot in that crowd. But outside of that, unless I'm at a Celtic festival where everyone's dressed in like Ren garb or something, you're probably going to be like, oh, I can see that guy. Yeah, I saw him all over the place. So I figure I'm going to make myself a harder target than a softer target. The reason people go as gray man is because they want people to leave them alone. They're like, well, if they see me with a gun, people that are really hardcore, they want to hide their guns. So they're walking around with a backpack and that's it. Oh, okay, there's a guy traveling. And then other people are like, okay, well, I'll carry something innocuous like a hunting rifle or a shotgun or a sidearm. And at a certain point in a survival scenario, people see you with guns and they go, well, if a guy's got a gun, it's just to protect himself. It doesn't mean he's coming to attack. He's just passing through. Very Western in feel, realistically, is how things will eventually turn out. But at the beginning, no, not so much. At the beginning, you're looking at very, very definitively. You see somebody that's armed, they're now a combatant. So you want to do combat with this person? You want to avoid this person? What are your thoughts? So I was like, I'm already inconspicuous. My personal opinion is, if somebody is going to be a marauder, or if they're going to take someone's stuff, if they see a man with a backpack and they have a long range shot and they can do it and they can pull it off, they're going to shoot that dude. That motherfucker is going to be dead, done, over. Not even going to know. He's going to blink out of existence just like a bug. And unfortunately, by that statement, that's just for a backpack. That's not even counting if you have a firearm. If you have a firearm, then yeah, for sure they're going to take you out because they're going to take your extra gear. You might have some ammo for it. It's something they can barter with, if nothing else. If it's not something they're going to use, they can use it to go help hunt for food. I mean, anything that you have is going to be useful to them. If it's useful for you, it's going to be useful for them. So they're going to kill you and take your stuff. Gray man or not, inconspicuous or not, they are going to find you. If they see you, you will be shot for your stuff. Even if you just have a fracking backpack on and you're walking around, you can walk around in shorts, tank top, and flip-flops, but if you have a backpack on, that means you've got something worth carrying. And if you have something worth carrying, that means it's probably food and water. If nothing else, you've got food and water, and they will kill you for it, period. So gray man means nothing to me. And this is my personal opinion. A lot of opinions are going to vary on this. There's a huge rift. It's like the AK versus AR, the 9mm versus 45, the gray man versus the hard target. I mean, all these are very, very polar opposites. And I was going to take the gray man road for a while until I had an epiphany. And I come to the realization of, for one, I'm not gray man. I don't look gray man. If somebody sees me walking around, they're gonna realize just by the clothes that I wear, if nothing else, because I don't own normal people clothes. I have multiple pair of black and OD, cargo pants. That's what I wear. I wear them to work. I wear them at home. I wear them at play. I wear them all the time. That's what I wear. Period. I don't look. I'm not wearing khakis and a polo shirt. I never wear that. I don't wear that. That's not how I dress. I wear this to church. I mean, this is how I dress. Just this is who I am, and that's it. Period. So by me dressing the way I do, and with my personality being as it is, from doing plays and monologues, being a DJ at a radio station, giving demos and doing a lot of public speaking. I'm a boisterous guy, so I have that vibe. So I'm out there. So I'd rather have, because I've always had my head on a swivel, because, and I'll tell you the story later, but I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, in a fairly affluent area, and they used to bus in kids from like the inner city and stuff, and it was just a handful of us white kids there, and the rest was Hispanic children and black children, and it's okay to pick on the fat white boy, but it's not okay to pick on anybody else. So I used to get jumped a lot, just because I'm one of the few people you were allowed to jump. There was only a handful of us there, so yeah, let's pick on the fat kid. Why not? So I was picked on. And so in so doing, I got my black belt, got my martial arts certification, so I'm a certified instructor, got my CHL, started shooting competitions. So I've put myself in a position now of being able to defend myself. I can start at long range to go down to handgun, or shotgun to handgun, however I want to transition to melee weapons like pocket knives. I know knife fighting, all the way down to just put up my dukes, So now, since I've grown up in an environment, getting shoved into a bathroom and having a bunch of guys watch the door and having people sitting there swinging at you, and you're trying to just not get hit, by growing up like that, my head's on a swivel. I know what's going on. When I walk in a room, I see who's there. I pick people out fast. So if they're hidden and they're going to snipe if they're going to snipe me, they're going to snipe anybody that comes through with a backpack. It doesn't matter who you are. If I'm going to get sniped, I'm going to get sniped. End of story. If it's somebody I meet down the road versus them trying to draw, and I'm like low ready with an AR, they're probably not going to go. They're going to be like, nah, he's going to fracking plug me, and I'll be wearing body armor. If they only have a handgun, guess who's going to win? This guy. So that's why I give up on Gray Man, and that's why for me, Gray Man is a no-go. For other people, it might be the way to go, but for me, it is an absolute no-go. So tell me what you think. Give me your responses on why or why not you do Gray Man. And as always, keep it civil and on topic, and subscribe.